Grubs are also eaten, either raw or cooked, which taste like almonds. The citizens of Nigeria eat a variety of insects, including crickets, grasshoppers, termites, palm weevil larvae, and compost beetle larvae. Certain tribes refuse to eat crickets because it is said to be childish to eat animals without blood. The palm weevil larvae is said to be one of the most delicious insects. It is about 4 inches long and 2 inches wide and has a lot of fat content. The compost beetle larvae is even bigger, but are often not eaten because of the dirty places they live in. Dragonflies and damselflies are eaten in valleys, and the dragonflies are boiled in ginger, coconut milk, and chili peppers. Tarantulas are roasted and then eaten in Venezuela, and scorpion soup is a delicacy in China. Honeypot ants are another sweet treat. There are even some favorites for American sweet bugs. Mormons near the Great Salt Lake sometimes eat grasshoppers that have been naturally salted by the water and dried on the Navy shore. There are even some places around the nation that sell bug foods. One of these places is in Pismo Beach, California. It's called the Hot Lips Company, and it sells transparent tequila-flavored suckers with a real mealworm inside. They also sell candied apples covered in mealworms and chocolate-covered scorpions. There are cookbooks out with bug recipes, and people buy the bugs from bait shops and bug farms. So why would anyone want to eat a bug? Well, there are many reasons. True, some are poisonous, but overall bugs are healthier and more nutritious than the foods that you eat every day. Leafcutter ants, for example, contain no cholesterol, and bugs are known to have a tremendous amount of protein. Termites are 42% and locusts 65% protein, according to Dr. Ross H. Arnett, Jr., Ph.D. Mopani worms have 3 times the protein beef has. At least that's what Peter Menzel said, who has traveled to 4 continents and 12 countries to find out what bugs people eat and why. He's also the author of a book called Man Eating Bugs. In China, walking sticks are raised to sell in herbal shops as a treatment for asthma, stomach pain, and muscle pain. While nutrition is the main reason people eat bugs, there are many others. One of them is a taste. Some say that wax moth caterpillars taste like bacon, or locusts taste like shrimp. The cost is another reason. Bugs are only a fraction of the price of many of the foods you eat every day that are of equal or lesser nutritional value. Bugs take up much less space than livestock and other crops we raise on our farm, and you can even save crops from, say, a swarm of locusts or grasshoppers by eating them. The phrase, "why not," is a common explanation people use for eating bugs. It kind of makes a lot of sense when you think of the other things we eat, such as shrimp, crab, lobster, escargot, caviar, and especially mountain oysters. Maybe some people just don't like the idea of eating a food that resembles the animal it came from. How about you? Now that you know more about their nutritional information, maybe you'd like to try a chocolate chirpy or a bug brownie. As Napoleon once said, a man's palate can in time become accustomed to actresses. Advice from other people can sometimes make this easier. To Be or Not to Be by Gertrude Taylor. Every dramatic art student must fulfill her quota of Shakespeare. I have studied Hamlet's famous lines from Act 3, which begin like this. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer from the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing goodness. I had the hardest time learning this. My mother said I should say them like this. To be or not to be, that is the question. Peter, get your fingers out of your nose. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer from the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Peter, quit biting your nails. Or to take up arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing. And is that the roast I smell burning? Somebody turn off the gas. Now my brother, who's a cheerleader, said I should say them like this. To be or not to be, that is the question. My big sister, Lola, said I should say them like this. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer from the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to
Posey, and my Aunt Emmy, who is the president of 14 clubs and one sewing circle, said I should say them like this. Now I have for you an excellent example of poetry hidden down throughout the ages, so pay attention. To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer from the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing and respectfully submitted in plum pudding. My cousin Prissy, who has had 6 dramatic art lessons, said I should say them like this. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer from the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing and even the neighbor girl who isn't very bright decided that she would be or not to be. That is the test. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. To be or not to be. That is the question. Widow Jack Hornell sat in a corner. To be or not to be. That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer from the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against the sea of troubles, by opposing and then. Now by this time, as you can imagine, I myself just felt like saying like this. To be or not to be. That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer from the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing and then.
Finding a compatible roommate isn't an easy task, even if you do live in a finishing school.
Ruth and Rosemary are trying to be taught how to have a pleasant disposition, but are having a little trouble applying those rules.
Girls will be girls.
By George Savage. I will not let go, I tell you, Rosemary,
And I tell you this, Ruth, this is my bag and I'll show you.
it is not. You never had one.
Oh, is that so? I'll show you who it belongs to. I'll show you.
Look what you just did.
Who did? You did, and you'll pay for it too.
What? Pay for my own bag?
Why, Ruth, I'll show you my very own name on it.
You mean my name, right here.
That's my name.
This is Clara Stoll's bag, Rosemary.
I don't care if it is. You broke it, and you'll pay for it too.
I did not.
Of course you did. You're still holding the piece in your hand.
Well, you had the bigger one.
Bah! I will not spend another night here.
You never spend anything here.
There are others who are, well, economical. Now where is my bag?
Your bag?
Yes, my bag. I bet you sold it. Or pawned it. Or,
You're so mean. I remember rightly, you brought all your stuff here in a wheelbarrow.
this may be a finishing school, but I am finished. And if Miss Florence asks me why, I'll just tell her the truth. I'll tell her how you put chewing gum on my pillow and how you eat crackers in bed.
And I'll tell her how you put sandburrs on my side of the bed so I won't skid over on your side. And I'll tell her...
Oh, you jump in a lake and annoy the fishes. You're giving me a headache.
Don't ask for a tablet for me either. Hey, what are you doing with my book?
Your book? That's my book. It's... Oh, I see. Right now, I'm going to lose my patience.
You never had any to lose.
Well, it would take the patience of a Chinese lawyer to put up with you.
Well, this is my book. My sister gave it to me last Christmas. It has my name on the flyleaf.
My name is Frank. Oops.
Are
hustle, don't you think, Ruth?
Under the circumstances, yes. How to develop a pleasant disposition. Let's bury the hatchet and read the book.
Okay. A frown is nothing but a smile turned upside down, and it's just as easy to turn right side up.
If you smile a while, there'll be miles of smiles if you smile a while. Okay, you smile at me and I'll smile at you. Why, Rosemary, I never noticed how crooked your teeth were.
What? Why, how dare you?
Well, it's true.
I don't care if it is. I would never tell you that your face looks like a squash with a slit in it, even if it was true.
I won't take this from anybody.
And if I didn't consider myself a lady of refinement, why, I'd slap your face. Anything but this.
There you go, picking another quarrel.
I'm not picking anything, but when an insult like that is thrown in my
When
face.
your mouth is open, I could throw a dozen in there, including the crate they came in.
Oh, you mean thing! Next time, I'm getting a roommate whose head isn't made of ivory.
You're not so smart yourself. I noticed when you shampoo, you use ivory soap.
Well, at least I don't use a monkey's wrench to put my hat on.
At least I didn't make a blunder as bad as you did in class today.
Oh, yes? And what was that again?
You got up and said that glass was a diamond engagement ring.
I think you're forgetting what you said when Miss Blayman asked you what Scott's best work was.
I still think that was right. I said Scott's emotionless is best.
Yes, and you followed that right up with, the White House spokesman's the man who changed the wheels on the president's car. Oh, and you wonder why I refused to go with you today to the Pink and Blue Club meeting.
What? Refuse? I never asked you to go with me. I just hesitated on going because I thought you would tag along and lower my prestige. Oh, Rosemary, I'm sorry. Come back. We really shouldn't fight so much.
I guess you're right. I mean, it's kind of like that saying, together we stand, apart we fall, or whatever.
We should stick together through thick and thin. Let's bury the hatchet.
We've buried it so many times there is nowhere left to put it.
Well, it isn't my fault that he's getting dug up.
Your fault as much as mine.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I'm by nature a peace-loving woman.
You're about as peaceful as Central America.
Are you trying to insinuate that this starts because of me?
Well, who starts it if you don't?
You?
You are such a viperess.
Now I am going.
Why didn't I just go to that Pink and Blue Club meeting and miss all this? Hey, why don't you go?
Well, I will when you give me back my traveling bag.
I never had it.
Now listen, when I came, I brought it. So that must mean you have it.
When you came, you didn't have a bag, and if you would have, I wouldn't touch it. And furthermore,
Shh, I hear a rapping.
quick, put on a smile like this.
It's from a boy! It's from a boy!
Me?
No? Well, actually, it's kind of for both of us. I wonder who it's from. I wonder who sent
Don't
it.
stand there like a nitwit. Open it. Wait, it doesn't look like a man's writing.
For Pete's sake, give me. Oops, what if it's glass?
Or eggs. Look, it's candy.
Is there a letter?
Right here.
I'll read it. To Ruth and Rosemary, today at the Pink and Blue Club meeting, we decided to vote on who had the most pleasant disposition. And you two girls tied for that honor. In our appreciation, we decided to give you this gift. Oh,
There's that pleasant disposition stuff again. We really shouldn't fight so much.
I know. We quarrel in private, and then in public, everybody thinks we have the most pleasant disposition. You know who we are, Ruth? We're hypocrites.
I know. We're wolves in sheep's clothing.